Welcome back. It is Wednesday, December 13th in the NBA. My 5 favorite picks are on the way, including a 2-unit play, which we will talk about later. But first, we got to recap yesterday, a 1 and 2 day. Let's talk about it. We did add a play. Donovan Mitchell's over in points. Sweat-free, he got it done. As always, if we do add a play, which could happen today, it will be always in the pinned comment. I'll also send it out early to our DubClub and our COS All-Stars, and I'll post it on Twitter as well, so you have plenty of time to see it. We did lose our other 2 plays. Anthony Davis is under in points. I don't know why I keep taking unders. No more of those. And then De'Aaron Fox and the Kings just got absolutely smoked on the road. I won't be touching the Kings on back-to-backs. They just can't seem to figure it out on the back-to-back games. But a 1 and 2 day, it is a good day, though, because the ladder challenge is returning. Stay tuned for that. It'll be linked in the pinned comment as well. Go check that out. It'll be posted later on this morning. But let's talk about Sleeper real quick before I dive into the picks we got today, because they have a free square live right now for Thursday Night Football. Devontae Adams just get 1 yard. He'll get that done. My Thursday Night Football video will be live later on today. But the best part about Sleeper, and that's only for new users, is right now until Christmas, December 25th, they're giving you a 100% deposit match up to $500. If you've ever been considering signing up for Sleeper, now is the time to do it, giving you that deposit match. Just make sure you use our code COS or the top link in the description. You will get the free square if you use that code, and you will get that 100% deposit match, matching your first deposit up to $500. Great offer, one of the best offers for any daily fantasy platform right now. So take advantage of Sleeper. We'll be talking about them a ton, not just today, but going up into Christmas, because they got that great offer. We talked about them a ton as is. But you guys came for picks. We got 5 of them, including a 2-unit play. Let's dive into the first one. It is not a 2-unit play, but it's a guy I love. It's Mikal Bridges of the Brooklyn Nets, over 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists, PRAs, minus 106 on FanDuel. Now, I'd play this up to 34.5. It was 32.5 this morning as I was doing my write-up. The line bumped up a little bit on me. I don't think it matters. I think Mikal's going to dominate tonight as we get his return to Phoenix, where obviously he spent the first few years of his career, and he's returning there. He hasn't played back against Phoenix since they traded him away last year, or last year, I believe. And I expect him to be fired up and be pretty motivated to play pretty well in this game. There's plenty of incentives here for Mikal to go out there and dominate. And we've seen over the last, couple games, we've seen Mikal. He's played really well. The last 6 games, he's averaged 26.8 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, and 4.3 assists per game. Good for 37.4 PRAs. He's at 37, 35, 50, 43, and then he has gone under in 2 straight with 28 and 32 PRAs. Now you look at how he's gone under the last 2. One of them was a blowout. He only played 30 minutes, ended with 28. The other game was a game he only got 13 field goal attempts. Still ended with 32 PRAs, a bucket short of this line, but I just think he will be a little bit more aggressive tonight than the 13 field goal attempts. This is a Suns team that honestly doesn't play the best defense in the league, and we saw a couple, Golden State Warriors, even off the bench, hit this line against the Suns team yesterday. They're also coming off a back-to-back. How will their shooting be? I don't necessarily know if they'll be that great. I just think there's plenty of opportunity here for Bridges to go out there and dominate. Normally, I would just target a points line if you want an individual line, but we've seen Bridges have games with 10 or more rebounds, which could happen here today. And we also seen him, have games where he get 5 or 6 assists, which I also like just the ball to be in his hands a lot. I think he's aggressive in his return to Phoenix. I think him and Cam Johnson will probably have a little bit more incentive than his teammates. I really think they find a way to get Bridges the rock early and often. We know how talented this guy is when he gets the opportunity. I really think he has a good game. Give me his over 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists, PRAs, minus 106 on FanDuel. I would take it at 34.5. That is as high as I would go for Mikal. He treated us nicely the last time we backed him. Do it again for us. Now, my second play is going to be another guy that, honestly, I think could have a very similar, career path as Mikal Bridges, because his name is Devin Vassell, over 17.5 points, minus 115 on DraftKings. They honestly kind of have a similar game. Not a guys that spam a ton of threes. They can knock down threes, and they will knock them down, but they're also guys that are pretty good defenders. Mikal probably better than Devin Vassell, but these guys are very, they kind of have the same build. They're both pretty lanky, don't have a ton of muscle on them, but very, smooth shooters. And I really like Vassell tonight in a matchup against the Lakers. Now, I do not do spread picks a ton, and I just don't love betting spreads because it just hurts real good when you lose on some backdoor layup or some garbage at the end of the game. But look, if I had to make a spread pick today, and I'm not saying this is a pick, Spurs being only plus 2.5 or plus 3 points against the Lakers just sticks out like a sore thumb. Yesterday, I kind of said the same thing about the Mavericks. At least I was thinking it, and that obviously ended. The Mavericks ended up winning that game. But the Spurs are a team that has lost 17 straight games. The fact that they're barely underdogs against the Lakers is ridiculous. And look, I don't think they're getting even close to covering that if Devin Vassell is not playing well. He's one of their best players. And we've seen him this season, averaging 17.8 points per game. He has scored 18-plus points in 9 of 17 games. So a little bit over 500. Now, you look at 3 of his unders did come when he played less than 25 minutes. That was when he was coming off the bench. Obviously, guy coming off the bench, not going to hit this over too often. And this was a guy that was injured in mid-November, which is why he came off the bench. Now, you look at the last 3 games of Vassell back in the starting lineup, playing a ton of minutes. So we've seen him score 22, 14 or 11, and then 14 points. Now you look at the field goal attempts: 9 for 16, 4 for 15, 5 for 16. So the shot attempts are there. He's 1 for 9, not just combined in the last 2 games, in each of the last 2. So 1 for 9 from 3, 1 for 9 from 3 the last 2. Look, what are the odds that Vassell continues to shoot that poorly from the field? He's still playing a ton of minutes, played 30 plus minutes in all 3, shooting 15 plus times. I think eventually the shots are going to start falling, and back at home against the Lakers, who are on a back-to-back, wouldn't surprise me if the shots start falling tonight. And look, I'll take a guy any day of the week, 17.5 points, if he's shooting 15 plus times. I'm confident he does that here today, and I think he can do damage against the Lakers defense. Now, you've seen his last 2 games against the Lakers, 18 and 20 points on 32 and 38% from the field. Look, he just has not shot the ball well against them the last 2 games, but I don't necessarily think it's their defense. I just think he hasn't had the shots go down. And I think eventually these last 2 games, he's been getting some good looks, just not knocking down the shots. I think he starts knocking them down, shooting 47% from the field this season, much better than the 30% he's been showing the last 2 games. This is a guy that averages 17.8 points per game. That has been on 28.8 minutes per game and 13.7 field goal attempts. So I think at the end of the day, at the end of the season, it'll probably be closer to 20 points per game. I think the confidence is there for Devin Vassell to shoot well. He's also in the starting lineup where, they got Wemby and they got, Keldon Johnson, but they don't have a ton of scoring on this offense. So they really need Vassell to be out there, be aggressive. I think he gets the 3-point looks, gets the mid-range looks. I think he could score this pretty easily. Give me his over, 17.5 points. My second favorite pick of the day. I think he has a big day. I'll take his over in points. I think Devin Vassell and the Spurs have a chance at winning tonight outright. I would not put my reputation on that, as they have lost 17 straight, but it would not surprise me at all. Now, my third play is going to be a guy that this guy has a chance to piss me off real good tonight. And you'll know how he could piss me off, because it's Jaren Jackson Jr. over 21.5 points, minus 110 on BetMGM. Now, look, I'm giving JJJ one last time to hurt me. This does not come down to talent. I'm very confident, and I think a lot of people out there are confident that JJJ is very good and a very talented player. The problem comes down to, will he keep his hands off the opposing team? Because that's always the concern with JJJ props, is will he stay out of foul trouble? Obviously, if I could control him, I would say, hey, don't foul, don't play. Heck, just contest shots, put your hands up. You'll be good, and he'd average probably 25 points per game with Ja Morant out, who is expected, I believe, return in less than a week. But you've seen Jaren, he's been doing well at avoiding foul trouble these last few games. Just please don't do it tonight. His last 4, Jaren, 37, 24, 21, and 41 points last game on 21, 20, 14, and 29 field goal attempts. His only under actually came in a game on the hook. He only played 29 minutes. It was a blowout. They lost by 28, and he wasn't a little bit of foul trouble in that game. Look, I just think he avoids foul trouble tonight against the Rockets, and I think this is just too talented of a guy with too high of a usage. I mean, heck, if he avoids foul trouble, he's probably shooting 20-plus times tonight. And he's probably, if he's not, and he get to the free throw line too, I just think he avoids foul trouble a little bit tonight. And we've seen him taken up against the Rockets. This is a team they just played a few weeks back, and in that game, the Grizzlies did lose by 20 points. They did not cover the 6.5 or 7 points they're getting tonight. JJJ played 37 minutes, did have 4 fouls, but he scored 23 points, didn't even shoot well from the field, 7 for 21, 33% shooting. So he was shooting the ball a ton. He avoided foul trouble a little bit, and I think this is just a game that he can avoid foul trouble and be aggressive in. We think about his other teammate that scores a lot of the points, Desmond Bane. He's going to have Dylan Brooks harassing him all game long. So I think JJJ, they're going to have to play through him, and he's going to have to hopefully avoid foul trouble and go out there and score the basketball. I mean, look, I'm not really too confident on Sengun having a big day. He struggled against the Grizzlies in their first matchup. This is a Grizzlies team that obviously packs the paint. They don't give up a ton of points in the paint, and that's why I don't think Sengun has a huge day. And I think that you think about the guys guarding JJJ, or who he's guarding, it's probably going to be Jabari Smith Jr. Kind of camps out on the 3-point line, and this is a Rockets team that is in the bottom 10 in terms of fouls drawn per game. So please, JJJ, I'm not asking for a ton. Just don't foul a ton of guys. I mean, you don't have to do it. Just keep your hands to yourself and just go score the basketball. Over 21.5 points. I'll take it. If he gets into foul trouble again tonight, I'm out. You won't see me take another JJJ prop until probably maybe 2024 if he's lucky. I just can't do it, but I really do like Jaren tonight. I think it's a decent matchup for him to play pretty well. He's been doing really well recently. Hopefully he stays out of foul trouble, knocks down some shots, gets to the free throw line, does his thing. Over 21.5 points. JJJ, please don't foul. Now, my fourth play will be our 2-unit play. Now, it is a same game parlay. It's a little tricky for my people that can't bet same game parlays, but I'll give some pivots, talk about what I would like if you can't do that. Let's talk about this 3-leg same game parlay. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 30 plus points. Tyrese Halliburton, 20 plus points. And Chris Middleton, 10 plus points. We're going to that Pacers and Bucks game. This is minus 110 on Bet365. I'm playing it for 2 units. Now, the other plays I just talked about were all 1-unit plays. This is my most favorite confident play of the day for 2 units. Now, I don't necessarily know if any of these guys will make the ladder challenge. We'll stay tuned for that. I'll post that later on. And look, I think this is really good at 2 units. I'd play it to about minus 140-ish. If anything goes above, minus 145, I'm out. Don't put 2 units on a play that's like minus 145. But I really like this one at minus 110 on Bet365. Great odds. Now, for the people that can't do same game parlays, I do really like Giannis's over in points at 33.5. I think he could easily crush that. Normally crushes that against the Pacers, and I certainly think he could get it done. Now, I would not play that for 2 units because there is a chance he ends with 30, 31, 32, 33, but I do think that is a great play to play for if you're just on maybe the PrizePicks or the Underdog track, even sleepers of the world. I don't mind Giannis's over in points. He's the Greek freak for a reason. Now, let's talk about this game. We have an over-under at 259. Yeah, 259. Yeah, no, that wasn't a misspoken. No, it's 259 points. We've seen them put high over-unders, and when they put them high, they're high for a reason. And I'm not saying take the over in this game, but if they're going to get anywhere close to that line, these guys have to hit 30, 20, and 10 because they are the majority of the scoring from these two teams. And we've seen in 2 matchups this season, the hit rates, it's 2 for 2. Giannis has scored 54 and 37 points. Halliburton, 29 and 27, and Chris Middleton, 19 and 20 points. I mean, each guy hasn't even come close to the line we need them to get, 30, 20, and 10. I mean, we talked about Giannis. We've talked about the Pacers. They give up a ton of points in the paint, the most in the NBA. Don't give up a ton of threes. So you'll see guys like Malik Beasley probably not have great games, probably just be funneling it to Giannis, will be able to do whatever he wants in the paint. Giannis at home, he's a beast. Now, on the other side, Tyrese Halliburton, we know how good Tyrese Halliburton is. He's also returning back home to Milwaukee. He's from Wisconsin. So we know how talented he is. We also talked about guards against the Bucks. They can't guard him. No pun intended. They just can't guard guards. We've said that 300 times this year. Tyrese, I know he's coming off a game where he didn't shoot a ton. It wasn't that aggressive. I think he's aggressive tonight. Scores a lot of points tonight. Now you look at Chris Middleton, 19 and 20 points against the games against the Pacers. He was on minutes restrictions in those games. Quietly seen his minutes go up and up and up. Played 33 minutes last game. Granted, that was a little bit of overtime in there, but still, they were capping his minutes even in overtime. So they're confident with him playing 30 plus minutes. I know they don't give up a ton of points points to 3-point shooters. But that's not Chris Middleton's game. Sure, he can knock down threes, but he's also a guy that if you run him off the 3-point line, he's best in the mid-range and just attacking the hoop. So I really like this one. I wouldn't be putting 2 units on a play I'm not confident in. I don't love doing it on same game parlays, but I really think this is an easy winner for us. I don't really know how it loses, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully it does not. 30, 20, and 10 for Giannis, Hallie, and Chris. Boom, that's a 2-unit play. I'm putting 2 units on it to win back, I don't know, a little bit less than 2. We'll take our chances there. Go dominate. Let's get a high-scoring game in that one. We'll see if the ladder challenge includes any of those plays. And then finally, the 5th pick of the day, which there is a chance we add more plays. Check the pinned comment. And in the pinned comment, you will also find the ladder challenge, which will be day 1. We're returning it by popular demand. You guys keep asking me, DMing me, and I love doing it. We're like 15 and 11. Obviously, we all want to hit the 10 days straight and hit 10K, and we could do that by Christmas time. We could certainly do that. But also, it's a lot of fun to sweat with you guys. And if you're just playing for each for 1 unit and not even doing the rollover, you're pretty profitable on them this season. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have to get this video live, but then I'm going to be working on it right after I post this video. So let's have a wonderful day. That's my 5th pick of the day. A reminder, if you want to sign up for Sleeper, make sure you use our code COS or the top link in the description. You get a 100% deposit match up to $500. It's a great deposit match offer. You'll also get that free square for Thursday Night Football, which that video will be live later on today, probably closer to this evening time. You guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Day 1 of the ladder challenge when it is live, linked on the screen for the YouTube short. And if we do have any added plays, they are in the pinned comment section down below. Let's have a wonderful Wednesday. I'll see you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks, and I'll see you in that ladder challenge video, which is linked on the screen when it is live. It's Austin signing out. Peace.